President Obama pardons 78 people and shortens the sentences of another 153 criminals. 6 of them were right here in West Texas. As you celebrate and cheer this holiday, the West Texas Food Bank wants you to remember about those who are going hungry. And a Midland native just released a new song filled with holiday cheer just in time for Christmas.
Live from the most watched station in West Texas, you're watching CBS 7 News, the breaking news and weather authority. CBS 7 News at 5 starts now. Time now for a CBS 7 Weather Authority update.
Well, we are looking at a bit of a warm-up today across West Texas. Let's take a look at those current temperatures and show you we're back into the mid-60s, running about 10 degrees above where we should be on the afternoon highs. 59 in Fort Stockton. Just a few high clouds out there with a southwest wind up to 10 miles an hour, helping warm things up a little bit. So as we move in towards your evening hours, expecting a few high clouds to hang around in the forecast. Probably need a light jacket out there as we'll slide down into the 40s through 10 o'clock tonight, on our way to the upper 30s by early on Wednesday morning.
Tom, thanks very much. New today at 5, President Obama granted 78 pardons and 153 commutations, including 6 West Texans. That's the most acts of clemency granted by President Obama in a single day. A majority of the cases where less time was granted involving drug-related offenses. CBS 7's Sarah Holden has more on the story.
That's right, Jay. The list includes pardons for Melissa Ray Conley of Midland, who was arrested for aiding and abetting distribution of meth, and Keith Allen Little for interception of electronic communications back in 1990. Lesser sentences were given to Midlander George Edward Ingram, Tony Earl Stewart, and Melissa Ann Sosa for various drug charges. And finally, Alpine resident Richard David Corville was given a lesser sentence for a 2002 drug charge. Over the course of his presidency, Obama has granted clemency to 1,324 people, including 148 pardons. In the studio, I'm Sarah Holden, CBS 7 News.
Sarah, thanks. An account has been set up for the owners of a home that was destroyed by a fire in Alpine. The account has been created at the Trans-Pecos Bank. Last week, a fire destroyed the home art gallery on 5th and Lockhart. 2 cats died in the blaze. If you'd like to donate, you can send a mail-in donation to the bank for the benefit of Lori Hallmark. Midland Police Department asking for your help in finding a stolen trailer. Around 10:45 Sunday night, a white Ford truck was seen taking a trailer from 130 Spring Park Drive. The 16 by 8 foot white trailer is estimated to be worth about $9,000. The truck has lighting sides and step rails and a large toolbox in the bed of the truck. If you have any information on this theft, you are urged to call Midland Crime Stoppers. That number is 694-TIPS. Odessa police tell CBS 7 3 masked men walked into a 7-Eleven at 8th and Golder around 4 in the morning and demanded money this morning. Steve LaSuere with Odessa police say the clerk told the men she did not have a key to the safe with all the money. The men then took off from the scene. All 3 are described to be between the ages of 18 and 20, wearing black masks. One of the men said to be Hispanic, about 5 feet 6, 130 pounds. The other 2 are said to be white, 5'10", around 140 pounds. With the holiday season upon us, the West Texas Food Bank is asking you to remember those who are hungry. According to Developmental Director Tina Corbett, the need for food across West Texas is on the rise. Corbett says there are many kids in need who will be out of school for 2 weeks over Christmas and won't get food otherwise. She also wants the community to remember senior citizens during this time.
Those are groups that we are particularly wanting to make sure that are served during the holidays. So it's not too late to help. $1 given to the food bank will help us provide 4 meals, which is a pretty big impact.
If you would like to help, just contact the West Texas Food Bank. The number is listed on your screen to give them a call. Now here's a look at some of the most read stories on CBS7.com today. One man is stabbed after punching 2 female co-workers at Rick's Cabaret during a Christmas party. That's according to the Ector County Sheriff's Office. They say 2 women claimed they were hit in the face by Miguel Flores. Flores was then sent to the hospital with a stab wound. Deputies are trying to figure out what happened and how he was stabbed. Missing Alpine student Zuzu Burke's boyfriend, Robert Fabian, went before a grand jury yesterday. This is the second time the jury has met in Zuzu's case. Fabian waited 5.5 hours with his attorney before he was called before the grand jury, I should say. Our cameras were rolling for it all. He was in and out within 10 minutes. The jurors were paid out, so that means there will be no session today. As far as the grand jury reconvening in the future, that remains unknown. Several windows at Odessa High School have been broken, according to an Ector County School District official. The windows that were damaged can be seen from 14th Street, and at this time, ECISD police are investigating what happened. A federal court in New York has released redacted copies of a search warrant and other documents that gave the FBI permission to take a second look at Hillary Clinton's emails. Among the documents unsealed today was an FBI affidavit arguing that there was probable cause to examine the emails found on a computer belonging to former U.S. Representative Anthony Weiner. The papers offered no new revelations about the case that factored into the presidential race. The discovery of the emails prompted FBI Director James Comey to briefly reopen an investigation that he had closed into Clinton's use of a private computer server. Agents spent several days analyzing them before Comey announced that they contained no new evidence. Police have arrested a man for a deadly attack at a Christmas market in Berlin. 12 people killed, nearly 50 others were hurt. Riley Carlson reports from London, where police have also stepped up security.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel visited the site where a truck plowed into a busy Christmas market in Berlin, killing and injuring shoppers. She said it's likely a terrorist act, but the people should not be paralyzed by fear. Tuesday, investigators released a refugee from Pakistan who was arrested after Monday's attack, saying they had insufficient evidence. Police are still looking for a suspect who may be armed.
Here in London, police are reviewing all security measures in light of the attack in Berlin, including at popular Christmas markets like this one.
This amateur video from Germany shows the chaotic aftermath as bystanders rush to tend to victims.
The world isn't safe anymore, wherever it is that you go, even if it's a nice little square with Christmas tents and villages in Europe. It's not safe.
Police are looking into whether the truck, which was loaded with steel, was hijacked from a Polish construction site. Officials say the suspect shot and killed the truck's driver, a Polish citizen, who was found dead inside the truck. Riley Carlson for CBS News, London.
Texas Department of Public Safety says state troopers over Christmas and New Year's holiday weekends will be focusing on drunken drivers, speeders, seatbelt violators, and other dangerous driving during their traffic patrols. Department of Public Safety Director Stephen McCraw says impaired driving or reckless behavior on the road can transform holiday celebrations into tragedies. In a similar effort during the holiday period a year ago, state troopers made 466 arrests for driving while intoxicated. They wrote over 9,000 speeding tickets and also gave 800 drivers seatbelt violations and child safety seat violations. The emphasis this year will be from Friday through December 26th and again from December 31st through January the 1st. A newspaper reports about $10 million have been raised in private donations for the families of 5 police officers killed last summer by a sniper in Dallas. Dallas Morning News reports the funds will also benefit 9 officers injured in the July 7th attack. City leaders and officials with 2 foundations planned a news conference this afternoon. Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings, in a prepared statement, says he is so honored by the amount of people who stepped forward to assist the fallen and injured officers. Gunfire broke out during a downtown Dallas demonstration against police shootings nationwide. 4 Dallas officers and a Dallas area rapid transit officer were fatally shot before the sniper was killed by police. The Midland Police Department celebrated the swearing in of 11 officers. After the ceremony yesterday, Midland spokeswoman Sarah Bustillo says the department is now fully staffed with 191 officers. She adds one of the officers sworn in is also an arson investigator. Midland native and country pop singer Abby Ann has released a new music video just in time for the holidays. The song Put a Bow on It premiered on J14 yesterday. In 2015, Abby spent her summer after high school opening for Kelly Clarkson alongside Pentatonix. She is currently in the studio wrapping up a full-length album that she expects to be released next year. And still to come here at 5, federal regulators are investigating 2 different types of Dodge cars for complaints of them rolling while in park.
This CBS 7 News segment is brought to you by Subway, Eat Fresh, and by Chevrolet. See your Permian Basin Chevy dealers today.
In today's consumer news, think you had a busy day at work? Imagine delivering packages on what is the busiest mailing day of the year. Janella Newsom spells out, how late is too late to get your gifts to their destinations.
Priority medium flat rate, so you could take this one.
As you can imagine, local post offices are busy with last-minute customers mailing their Christmas letters and packages. If you're sending items first class, you've got until December the 20th to ensure delivery by Christmas. Priority mail, December the 21st, and Priority Express mail no later than December 23rd.
They're going to pull the receipt out and they're going to give you the receipt.
Customer Relations Coordinator Sharon Vernado for the U.S. Postal Service says for customer satisfaction, packages should be mailed sooner rather than later.
Anytime possible that you can come in and mail whatever greeting cards, whatever packages you have to make sure that it arrive in time for Christmas. Due to some of the snowstorms that we have, it's a possibility some of the mail may be delayed.
Doing all three the same way?
Same way.
This customer says he's a little late this year with mailing his Christmas items, but knows they'll reach their destination in time.
I've got my packages mailed out of town, and I'm good.
Today is the busiest mailing day for letters and packages, and chances of these Christmas gifts reaching their destination on time look really good. But if you wait much longer, you might not be so lucky.
Hours of operation has been extended at most major post offices, and only Priority Mail Express items will be delivered on Christmas Day. Janella Newsom, Eyewitness News.
Federal safety regulators are investigating reports that some Dodge Ram pickups and Dodge Durangos can roll while in park. 43 complaints have been filed, resulting in at least 25 crashes and 9 injuries. The models being reviewed are 2013 through 2016 Dodge Ram 1500 pickups and 2014 through 2016 Dodge Durango SUVs. More than half of Americans aren't using all of their vacation days. That's according to a new report from Bankrate.com. The site found close to 60% of workers aged 18 to 25 report they won't use all of their allotted vacation days this year, while 25% say they won't use any of their time off. Workers are leaving a median of 7 vacation days on the table. Meanwhile, only 6% of Gen Xers and 7% of baby boomers report they won't use any vacation days. And you may sleep better knowing that you don't have to make your bed. The Smart Duvet promises to roll into place for a perfectly made bed. You can also set a timer to get it done from an app on your phone. Smart Duvet works with your own bedding. You can order it on Kickstarter. It will be shipped to you by May. After the break, we're going to talk weather. A warm-up today. It looks like that warm-up is going to continue through the week. We'll get an update as Weather Authority Tom Tieferteller looks at your forecast. But first, here's a look at today's closing bell report on CBS 7 News. Futures price of oil rested today at $52.23. The posted price closed at $48.25, and natural gas was down 13 cents, closing at $3.26.
Well, we're finally starting to thaw out a little bit, and that's going to be the trend at least for one more day. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather headline, showing you that as we get in towards the middle part of this pre-Christmas week, well, it's not exactly going to be winter weather for the official start of winter. The winter solstice is tomorrow, and we are going to be looking at winter chill, though, back in our forecast coming up on Thursday as a stronger cold front moves back in, and then on Friday, does look like a few more clouds, maybe even a shower in the forecast, but nothing to mess up holiday travel. I think we're going to be okay all the way through the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day holidays. Taking a look at our live iCam monitor, just some high clouds across the area from Big Spring Andrews down towards the central Permian Basin, Trans-Pecos into the mountain areas this afternoon. Looking at Big Spring, mix of high clouds and sun out there as temperatures right now are at 60 degrees with just a light south wind. Not too bad at 8 miles an hour. And as we take a look across the state of Texas, starting to thaw out a little bit from all that Arctic air that brought the bitterly cold temperatures over the weekend. But we're still hanging on to 50s down towards San Antonio, Corpus Christi. Very pleasant, nice Christmas shopping weather out there across most locations. 55 in Dallas, and not too much going on in the skies across the state, except some high cloudiness, so not seeing any flight delays, anything like that affecting holiday travel at the present time. We are starting to see, though, a Pacific storm system and some Pacific moisture really start to thicken up here a little bit. And that's going to bring some more clouds to our forecast, and then this whole system swings across and brings that front end coming up. Well, that's going to happen coming up on Thursday morning, and that'll bring some winter chill, bring more seasonable temperatures. Well, in fact, even below that back to our forecast. Taking a look at the FutureCast forecast. So starting in the evening hours, continuing all the way through your Wednesday, high cloudiness moving in from west to east across the area. May see a couple of sprinkles far west Texas, but it looks like the bulk of the moisture into Thursday is going to be into New Mexico. Could be some travel problems back across Albuquerque, back over towards Flagstaff, the Phoenix area. As this storm system moves off to the northeast, it's going to bring a lot of snow to the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, so some good skiing up there. But again, across the state of Texas, things expected to be quiet. So Tuesday into Wednesday, have a jacket ready this evening, as we're going to have plenty in the way of high clouds and cool temperatures in our forecast. Bottom out around 37 on the overnight low, and then coming up overnight tonight, again, not quite as cold as it has been. Most areas will stay above freezing out there. With more clouds thickening up, and coming up on your Wednesday, we are going to see those temperatures again down to about 37 on the overnight low, but back up to 70 coming up tomorrow. And taking a look at the next 3 days, well, we are going to see a big warm up for winter starting up tomorrow, before we see temperatures back below where they should be this time of the year. 46 for a high, so the winter chill back in our forecast. Then we'll pick up more clouds, a few showers, possibility Friday, but overall looking pretty good this week.
Christmas holidays looking good, aren't they?
Yeah, not too bad. Temperatures into the 60s, a little bit above where we should be.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Still ahead here at 5, a new report shows the worst states that are prepared for a health emergency. We'll tell you all about it next.
Your family's health is brought to you by First Med of Midland.
Philosophers aren't sure and experts won't say, but a new paper suggests that money can at least buy stress, less stress, and a longer life. Kim Hutcherson has more in today's Health Minute.
Higher income Americans are twice as likely to say they're in good health compared to their lower income counterparts. That's according to a paper released by the Brookings Institution's economic policy initiative, the Hamilton Project. Wealthy Americans are also less likely to have high stress levels, at least as measured by an index of blood pressure and other biomarkers. Researchers examined data collected as part of the CDC's National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Information was gathered between 1976 and 1980 and between 2009 and 2014. It turned out that during both time periods, the likelihood that an American would report they're in very good or excellent health was directly linked to income. Americans at all income levels reported higher levels of stress than they did 4 decades ago. But the data showed that those with higher incomes had lower stress loads. Researchers also found that fewer Americans said they were in good or excellent health. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Some scientists say a new study on sugar should be taken with a grain of salt. The study was published in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine today. It says the official guidelines for how much sugar you should be eating may be wrong. That's because the study says the guidelines are based on evidence that may not be very good, but a professor at the University of California says that research is fishy because it was funded by a nonprofit with ties to Coca-Cola, Hershey's, and other food companies. New data from the CDC shows drug overdose deaths jumped 23% between 2010 and 2014. Opioids such as heroin, oxycodone, and morphine were among the drugs most frequently linked to overdose deaths, with fentanyl-related fatalities doubling in a single year. Alcohol also played a role in up to nearly a quarter of those deaths. According to a new report, the United States is often caught off guard by emerging threats like Zika, Ebola, and bioterrorism. According to Trust for America's Health, 26 states and the District of Columbia scored a 6 or lower on 10 key indicators of public health preparedness. Those indicators being things such as public health funding, food safety, and emergency health care access. The report also found that the worst offenders were Alaska and Idaho, each scoring 3 out of 10. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up at 5:30.
Here's the CBS Evening News tonight. ISIS claims the attack at a Berlin Christmas market. The only suspect arrested has been set free. Plus, Donald Trump builds the wealthiest cabinet in history. A passenger jet in California is mistakenly ordered onto a collision course. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says yes to new inductees. Those stories tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Now for a final look at weather. Finally a warm up on the way for a few days.
Yes, we finally got around to decorating the 7-day forecast for
that?
you. And
yeah, Christmas lights.
Get your Christmas forecast there. Tomorrow's the official start of winter. It's not going to feel like it. Very comfortable, 72. But then we'll see the next front storm system bring some clouds, some much cooler weather to our forecast Thursday into Friday. May see a few sprinkles in the forecast, but the heavier stuff in the way of rain staying well to our north. So it looks like it's going to be decent for Christmas. Highs in the 60s, nighttime lows down in the 40s.
It's going to be great to get outside and play with those toys
there
if you get
go.
them for Christmas. The CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley is coming up next. We'll see you tonight at 6.